Happy Thursday, it's me, Queen B. I am back again, and we've been talking about these children. There are some things you got to watch, okay, with your children. What they listen to, what they're watching on TV, and what games they are playing, okay? Whether it's cards or what they're collecting, whether it's cards, um, board games, video games, what they're watching on TV, these cartoons, what they're listening to, all of this stuff, these are entryways for Satan to get into your child. Okay? When my children were growing up, I did not allow them to collect Pokemon cards. Well, at first they were. When I found out, did some research, I took the Pokemon cards away. There are certain cartoons they couldn't watch. Some are just, I mean, even just because it's animation doesn't mean it's fruitful. Paul said all things are lawful, but all things are not expedient. Okay, and so these games, Ouija boards. There's a viral game on TikTok called, it's called Red Door, Yellow Door. It's demonic. Okay, it teaches children how to astral project. It's demonic. And you know, just because it's viral on TikTok don't mean it's good. It's teaching children how to astral project. Do you know what astral project means? Let me give you a good solid family definition. Hold on, let me get it for you. So let's look it up. Astral projection. So astral projection is known as astral travel or soul journey, is an out-of-body experience in which a subtle body, often called astral body, separates from the physical body and travels through astral plane. This phenomenon has been described in many cultures, including ancient Egyptian, Hindu, and Tibetan traditions, and is sometimes associated with dreams, meditation, or near-death experience. Practitioners often report vivid experiences, spiritual insights, encounters with beings, otherworldly beings. It's demonic, y'all. That's what it is. And so the game is viral and it's causing children to get involved in demonic stuff. So we have to be careful with what the children are listening to, even in their headphones. I hated when those MP3 things came out, and because you used to be able to hear what your children like. When I was growing up, we had like record players, cassette tapes, the boom box, and stuff like that. And whatever we were listening to, our parents heard. Okay, but Apple came out with the like little MP3, you know, the iPods and stuff. You didn't know, you don't know what they were listening to. It was just in their ear, and you're like, okay, wow. And then some of this music, the lyrics, and the person behind the music is demonic, y'all. I mean, you say you can't spiritualize everything. This is important. Like, this is going to determine whether your child spends eternity with the Lord or eternity in utter darkness and torment, okay? And eternity is a long time. Hell is not just a lake of fire, it's a whole galaxy universe of just torment. And what I've heard, there are different levels for different, for different levels of sins that were committed. And so we have to really monitor our children, what they watch. And, the Bible says in the last days, the love of many will wax cold. The parents will be against their children. You know why? Because all this stuff is being introduced. And children are so impressionable. You can have a child that is very shy and they watch enough TikTok videos that now they want to do videos and dance in front of the screen and be popular and stuff like that, at the expense of losing their souls. Okay, And you just have to be mindful. I didn't let my children do Pokemon. Those some of those enemies or whatever you call it, enemies. I don't know what it's called, but you know the cartoons with the animation with the children with the eyes and stuff. They got big eyes like Koshi something. I don't know, but it's something about it. It's the money, like it. It is, and we just have to be careful. Even if it's this music, I heard one guy say that the guy had an experience where he experienced hell or he saw hell, and some of the demons were playing Rihanna music. Okay, so we really have to be very alert and watching what these children are doing. They can't play Luigi board games. Like if they're going over to somebody's house, they don't need to go over there. You need to know what these did the children. If they're I didn't like for my children to go anybody's house, unless I know they were bona fide Christians. And sometimes you gotta be careful with that because some Christians are ignorant as to what they can and cannot do. And so you still gotta be mindful, like, okay, yeah, because actually the children went to somebody else's house and their parents allowed them to have Pokemon cards. I said, well, we don't do Pokemon cards because there's something I found out about them. And I said, oh, no, get these away or throw them away. Okay, we're not doing Pokemon. It's something demonic about it. So we didn't do that. But when they went to one of the friends' house who was a Christian, that those parents allowed them to use. They say, what's wrong with Pokemon cards? I'm like, well, you need to do some research. And so sometimes we can say, oh, we're being too hard on our children, but if it's about saving their souls and whether they can go to heaven, it's up to us to put the right things in them. It's up to us to point them in the right direction. Tell them what's wrong and why. Okay? We can't do this right now. We can't do it. And this game, red door, yellow door, astral projection, that's totally demonic. Okay? It's witchcraft. And so it's not something that you want your child involved in. So talk to your children. Next week we're gonna do some praying. Okay, I'm gonna present some prayers because children, after they become adults, reach the age of accountability. The only thing we can do is pray that the blinders, Satan blinds the minds of those who don't believe. Okay, so this is something I learned. you can pray for things, right? You can pray one time for it or multiple times for that. Okay, but God is not going to go against the person's will. So really, when we try to pray for somebody's will to be changed, it's almost like witchcraft. So here's what we have to do according to the word. We have to pray that the God of this world, that is Satan, he blinds the minds of those who believe not the gospel. So we have to pray every day. If our children are going astray, we have to pray every day that we bind Satan, who is blinding their minds from receiving the gospel. We have to pray that every day. So every day there's a chance for a labor to get the gospel to them. Okay, so we have to pray that every day. If they're not doing what they're supposed to do, I got probably all 3 children. They're not where I want them. Well, I'll just say all 4 of them. They are not where I would like for them to be. And so I always pray that the blindness be removed from their minds so that the truth can come in those areas of their lives. And have to pray that every day so that every day there's an opportunity for someone to minister. There was a lady who got married and then she got saved, but her husband was an atheist. So she couldn't pray, oh, I pray that he gets saved. No, She prayed that the blindness be removed, and she had to pray every day. So because she prayed every day, God would move every day in some type of way, to the point where he was trying to eat lunch in his office, and he felt like he saw a being standing in front of him, and he kept seeing it. So every time she prayed, boom, every day she prayed, pray that the blindness be removed from his mind, that the truth would be revealed, so that the gospel can be. And then he would see God standing in front of him, to the point where he gave his life to the Lord. Now he wasn't telling her nothing that he was seeing this stuff every day, but she kept praying, and she didn't know that this was going on until afterwards. Okay, and so we have to pray for our children daily, that the blindness be removed, and that laborers, it could be angels, it could be, other people, that they will listen. Sometimes children don't want to listen to us, so it can be someone that they will listen to better than they would listen to us. And we have to just keep praying. I'm praying, really, especially for one of my sons, Joshua, Jonathan, all of them, okay, because they've been taught the right thing. Now, there are influences, there, that will, it really is Satan. He'll use anybody that will allow that will allow him to use them. And so continue to pray. Next week we're gonna pray some prayers. The only thing we're gonna do is pray. There could be some prayer confessions to pray over your children, not only yours, but the children in your nation. Okay, and pray for your children specifically. So next week is gonna be a time of prayer. That's what we're gonna be doing, praying. Okay.